am Lequita Brooks, your social impact speaker and strategist. Welcome to Social Impact Sundays at 6, where we have massive social impact that leads to massive income. And today we have Dr. Renetta. She is a metaphysical social worker. You're probably like, what is metaphysical? I was thinking the same thing. She's also a holistic social worker. She's a bariatric social worker, aka someone that helps with weight loss. And guess what? Weight loss is so much more than just the physical aspects of it. It's the mental aspect. And Dr. Renetta is going to talk to us about that today and how healing and how she's a great healer, but she's not the best social worker. So welcome, Dr. Renetta.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you, and you've been making some transitions in your life. You've been healing mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all the things. So tell us about those transitions and what led you to, I guess, becoming aware that, yes, you were practicing social work and you was doing the best you knew at that moment, but then you recognized that healing needed to take place. So tell us more about that.
Yes. Okay. Where do I look? Where do I begin? Okay, so ever since I was a little girl, I'll say about 9 years old, I just knew I was going to be a healer. I didn't know how I was going to be a healer, but I knew in my spirit I was going to be a healer. I really just wanted everybody around me to feel better. Because that was, the space I was living in my life. It was a lot of people around me that just didn't feel good about themselves, about life. And I wanted everybody to feel better. So I knew I would be a teacher, a doctor, or a social worker. And of course, I became a social worker. And I just love this field. And what happened is I got into the field of social work, and I always felt like I was really good at what I did, but I just didn't feel like I did it the way I was taught. So I started questioning, like, I don't know if I should be in this field because I don't sound like I'm supposed to sound according to the textbooks I was studying and things like that. I was like, I just don't talk like that. I just don't approach people like this. So I started questioning my skills. And later on, as I grew and developed in my career, I realized that I didn't have to operate out of a textbook. That was simply giving me a foundation to practice from, but that I could develop my own style and my own approach to helping people to heal. So I laugh when I say I'm a terrible social worker. I always say that to clients because that's really what I thought when I looked in the textbook, but I'm always like, I'm a great healer because I know that people who come to see me really do get results. They get that change and transformation in their life.
And I think that's the best part about social work is that we take the textbook and the solution focus and the CBT, and we take all those different things, and then from that we make it our own. Because yes, it's important to do evidence-based and all of that, meet people where they're at with self-determination. So we kind of take those theories and then we tweak it to make it our own. So then we can, support our clients and even ourselves first and foremost.
I absolutely love the field of social work. So please don't get me wrong when I say I'm not operating out of a textbook. That textbook and that evidence-based stuff, it really does make a difference. It matters, it's important, but it's also important to really sound natural and have confidence when you're practicing so people don't feel like you're just treating them like somebody in a textbook, right? I curate individualized experiences for my clients, and I think I can do so because that comes from me developing my own style and skill set. Like many people watching this have their own style and skill set. So I love it.
Exactly. And when I started out, I mentioned metaphysical because I'm like, what in the world is metaphysical? I'm thinking about the solar eclipse that we're going to have, in the United States and all kind of stuff. So what in the world is metaphysical, and how does that tie to social work? It makes sense for me.
Thank you for asking because I put that out there and people are like, what is metaphysics, right? So metaphysics, to just make it plain and simple, is the study of matter and energy. So there's all types of matter and energy that we can be concerned with. But when I went through my program, my study, it was the study of matter and energy concerning ourselves, concerning healing ourselves. And I deeply needed healing, because one of the reasons I came into social work, like many people I might know, is that we needed healing ourselves. But we don't always recognize that we need healing, right? Because we get in, when other people around us are injured, and we take that in, we become injured too, but we might not recognize that because we're so busy healing and fixing everything else that nobody ever tells us to look at ourselves. But I realized I needed to look at myself because I became frustrated in my career. I really felt like my approaches weren't working. My clients weren't getting the results that they should have been getting. I was angry at them because they weren't doing what I asked them to do. They were probably angry at me because of the way I was practicing with them, right? A lot of blame going around. And I just looked at what's the common denominator here. And I realized it was myself. And so I started going on this journey of healing, and I was studying everything related to Eastern healing, going inside of ourselves, doing a lot of somatic practices. So I metaphysics, the study of matter and energy, when I went inside and studied myself, I realized there were a lot of things in my DNA that needed repair. And I started doing that deep work, that healing work. And once I started doing that work with myself, I started using those same approaches with my clients. And it totally changed my practice. I mean, I was happy, they were getting results, and I was also getting better results. So I just love it. And I made up this saying that says, healer, heal yourself so it won't show up in your practice. And when you do heal yourself, it will show up in your practice, right? So I'm a living testimony to that.
And you are a true, when I say you are a true social worker, Dr. Renetta, you're a true social worker, because there are a lot of social workers, quote unquote, who, if they feel like something isn't working, they might be feeling like they're burned out, they might feel like it's not for them, they jet set. But you was like, no, I don't like this. It don't
Oh, wait a
feel
minute.
good.
Wait a minute. I'm going to correct you a little bit, okay? Because I was that social worker that tried to jet set. I did, y'all. I tried to get out of the field. I was burnt. I was everything you said, burnt out. I was tired, right? And I did try to get out of the field. The problem is that when I tried to get out, I tried to go straight into IT, where I didn't have to deal with nobody. I didn't have to talk to nobody. I didn't have to deal with people, just computers. And y'all, I failed twice. I never failed at anything in my life. And when I tried to go into IT, I failed the program. So I knew, like, okay, we got to figure this social work thing out, because you can't do anything else. Even when you try your hardest, like it wasn't working.
So it sounds like you, like you said, do try to jet set, but something in the spiritual realm or whatever you might believe in.
Yes.
Was like, I'm closing all these doors. I'm closing these doors. IT is cute, and that's cute for Jessica, and that's cute for Tanya, and that's cute for Jamie. But guess what? Dr. Renetta is still supposed to be utilizing these good old social skills, and I'm gonna just keep closing these doors. And then when she's in the spot where I need her to be, or she needs you to be, then that's when the doors open up for you.
Absolutely. Yep. And so whatever your beliefs are, right? I believe we all need a higher power. My higher power is God. And I just felt like God was speaking in my spirit and saying, hey, you've been trying to be my hands and feet, but I need you to go back in and get right with yourself. And I heard that loud and clear. Like it was me. It was me. And so I did go in and did all this stuff. And so now, listen, now I say my westernized education gave me my degree, but my easternized healing set me free. Girl, I wholly believe you need the two, right? We need the two to do what we do. We need that education, that evidence-based education, and we also need the education of understanding ourselves so that when we are practicing from a lens of truly being client-centered instead of person-centered. And I hope y'all caught that, right? I was operating off of person-centered, meaning I was operating off of me, the people I knew, the people in my life, and looking at the clients through that lens instead of looking at the clients through their lens, through their world, right? And it makes a world of difference when you do your healing work and you can separate the two.
Do your healing work separated. So listen, Dr. Renetta, you've been dropping balls. Like, do you have a whole t-shirt line or something? Because I'm like, what in the world? All these different things. And I know with your new brand, which is Girl, It's a New Day. You know, it came to mind when you told me that. I thought about that song. It's a new day. Okay, so I'm gonna stick to being an interviewer. And a host. But yeah. So tell us about Girl. It's a new day, not an old day, but it's a new day.
So listen, y'all. I was watching this movie, and I'm not going to assume that everybody is familiar with it, but it was based off The Wizard of Oz, and it's a reimagining of that. And the movie is called The Wiz, where you have these four characters: Dorothy, the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Cowardly Lion, right? Who all need to go to this. They find themselves in this land of Oz, and they need to find their way back home or some part of their identity. And so we watched this movie. You know, it's a great movie. It's a fantastic movie, but it really has a lot of truth to it. How we're walking around not living in alignment with our assignment, like I first said, you know. And so Dorothy wants to get back home. She's suffering with a little bit of imposter syndrome, is scared to get out of her box. The Tin Man, he can't feel anything. He's numb inside, and he just wants to be able to connect with his emotions again. The Lion, he doesn't have the courage and confidence to be who he was called to be. And the Scarecrow, he needs a whole change in mindset because he just thinks that he's not worthy, right? And so they all want to go see this magical person called Oz, right? And they get there and find out that he really doesn't have the magic that they thought he had to be able to get them to the place they want to get, and that the true magic was in them all along. So when it comes to this brand, this new brand, Girl, It's a New Day, what I do is I help people to realize, like, I don't have a magic wand, but I do have a roadmap. And if with their permission, we can go inside. I can guide them inside and help them repair those broken roads so that they can find themselves back in the place that they want to be. So whether it's back home, a change in mindset, getting your courage and confidence, or being able to connect with your feelings, that's what Girl, It's a New Day it's all about. And it really started out of that weight loss brand that I had because, you know, people who struggle with obesity will try all the pills, potions, and lotions, even the surgery, thinking that's the magical thing that's going to get us healed, right? Because I've had surgery myself. And we all think, including me, thought that that was the magic solution to get us back to the place we wanted to be. And then we realized nothing outside of us could really do that. And it's only by going within that we can find our way back.
Going within to find our way back to work towards our new day.
Yes, yes. Because that old day, that old stuff, we want to reimagine and reinvent ourselves so that we are no longer living in that old story that we were telling ourselves, whatever that story is. I don't know what your story is, but whatever, you know, you have a story that, and you feel stuck in it, right? And every day you desire to be different, but you don't know how to get there. You just feel stuck. So my job is, you know, to be that good person in your life to help guide you back. Now, I don't have a yellow brick road. I don't have a yellow brick road for you to follow, right? We all been on that yellow brick road trying to find our way to Oz, right? We're not doing that in Girl, It's a New Day. We do have a roadmap that is curated specifically for you because everybody's journey is unique. Everybody's story is unique. So my job is to really help you to find out what story you're living in and which one you rather be living in and help you to get there.
So what would be some nuggets or some things that you can leave with our audience to tell them how they can identify that story to get from old day to their new day?
Yep. So let's see. One of the things that I could help you to do to identify your story is just look at the areas of your life, like financial, right? Look at your spiritual life, look at your relationships, look at your like relationships with girlfriends, but also look at your intimate relationships and any other area of your life, right? Pretend like you're a tree and those are your limbs. I want you to look at your limbs and ask yourself which limbs have green leaves on them, because that means in the area of that, like your financial life, your social life, your spiritual life, you're growing and thriving. But if any of those branches have brown leaves on them or they don't have leaves at all, that's probably an area where you're stuck in your life or things are not going the way you thought they would go. And that is the area that we tap into to help you to rewrite your story, right? And through Girl, It's a New Day. And so when I said our framework is awareness, answers, and then action, is because you want to become aware of where is it in my life that I'm not living in alignment? Where is it that I'm unhappy? Where is it that it just doesn't feel right anymore? I want you to look at that, and then I want you to get the answers to your why. Why is that, right? Where would you rather be in? And why are you here, right? What messages are you getting that are keeping you here and you rather be somewhere else? And what actions do we need to take to start taking to help you break up with that old identity and latch on to that new one?
So awareness, strategies, and guess what? You have to act. You got to do something.
You got to
So how
do
can
something.
people reach you, Dr. Renetta?
So I want to invite you to take the free reinvention quiz. Okay. If you're saying, if you resonate with any of this and you're just curious, right? Because in this quiz, it's going to identify an area that you might want to look deeper into, right? So I want you to take the quiz and I'm going to give you the number and the keyword. The keyword is reinvent and the number is 240-266 0699. Yep, 240-266-0699. And I want you to just text the keyword reinvent and you'll get the free quiz and then we will go from there.
Oh my goodness, Dr. Renetta, I have loved this. I have loved our discussion about metaphysical social work, bariatric social work, holistic social work. And at the end of the day, it's all about going within. So I just thank you.
Listen, I thank you too for this opportunity. It's been really fun just sitting back and having a conversation about how I got from where I was to where I am now. And I just want to encourage your listeners that wherever you find yourself, if you desire to be somewhere new, never give up on yourself. You can do it. Sometimes you just need someone to help you to find out what you need to do.
And with that, I am Lequita Brooks, your social impact speaker and strategist for the social work movement that is part of Social Impact Sundays at 6. Make sure you go to thesocialworkmovement.com to either support or get support. Until next time, have an amazing day.
Bye, y'all.